Hey guys, Andy here. So if you're a subscriber, you may have seen I've done a few different wireless noise cancelling headphone reviews recently. And the Plantronics Backbeat Pro 2 are kind of what kicked it all off, in a way. So, I don't know how long ago it was, 8 months or so back, I decided I want to get some Bluetooth, some new headphones. The ones I had, they were Bluetooth, they were quite good, they were Sony, but they were starting to fall to pieces. I thought it's time to replace them. So I thought about maybe I'd like some noise cancelling, and I looked at kind of the price range I was looking, which is up to about sort of 150, 200 at a push, and I was looking at the Backbeat Pro 2, which are right now 175 on Amazon or 185 direct from Plantronics, so that kind of price bracket. They had very good reviews. Some of the comments were just as good as the big boys that are twice as much. I thought, can't go wrong, surely. Then my brother bought some of the Bose QC35-2s, and I was amazed at how good they were. Amazed, so I bought some myself. But then I realised there was some audio delay, bought some Sonys, great. Anyway, that kind of got me into doing some of the video reviews, and they seem to have gone down quite well. I've got, lots of views on them, so I aimed at a few different companies saying, do you want to send me some headphones to review? Plantronics particularly got back to me, yeah, we'd love to. And so here we are with the Backbeat Pro 2. Like I say, I suppose I didn't really, I guess the Bose kicked it all off for me really when I heard how good they can sound, especially the noise cancelling element. But I was still really pleased when Plantronics said they would send them to me, because I'm really curious as to what do you get for £330 that you don't get for 180-ish. And I think these Plantronics hopefully have the answer. Now, again, if you're a subscriber, you'll know that a lot of time when I'm unboxing things, I don't know a huge amount about them. So I've done a little bit of reading on the actual website. Okay, so that's the kind of travel bag with the headphones in right now. The box has this kind of like crepe paper. Let's just get rid of that for the moment. So I guess I'll have to be honest and say this bit is not as premium perhaps as some of the expensive ones. Soft bag, I've not particularly got an issue with a soft bag. I think I prefer a hard bag to give it some protection if you're sticking it in your luggage or what have you. So I guess this obviously is the actual headphones. Okay, so we've got a protective plastic on the shiny plastic there, not on that side. Get rid of that. Oh, I felt some more some more protective plastic around the. It's a little bit annoying, so I think there's still some on there. And okay, so whoa, left and right. Right, let's just check what else is in the bag, if anything. So nothing in the actual bag, but then we've got a zipper front look, which I can feel. So we have a regular 3.5mm audio cable, one of them at right angles. We've got some documentation, and we have a micro USB cable for charging. So let's pop them back in. I will get to the instructions, but I'll do that after. So my plan, just so you're aware, I'm going to have a bit of a look at these, kind of a first look. Then I'll go and use them for 3, 4, 5 days, and then I'll come back to carry on giving the actual review elements. So this is just the unboxing portion. They feel quite good quality actually. I shouldn't sound so surprised, but I guess I'm just because of the price. But actually, I think they feel really nice. They don't. At first, I was a bit worried when I first took them out. I thought it felt plasticky, but it was literally the plastic covering on. I mean, that's a little bit. I suppose that's an actual button, I think there. But if that can you see that moves? That's a little weird. And more button controls are on that side, and then on the left cup, open listening, active noise cancellation. So that's how we would switch between the different modes. Anything else on that cup? So on the actual, we've got play, pause, we've got forward and back, and then an actual sort of dial. Do you see that? Maybe you see that sort of spring-loaded dial. Okay. And then on the right cup, so the base there, is it more sticky? No. The base there is the 3.5mm jack. micro USB. I'm sure there is some more plastic to come off there. I'll deal with that later. Is that a mute button? Or a microphone off button? And that looks like it's an actual power and Bluetooth button. And obviously a clicky button on the side. So it feels quite good quality. Let's go ahead and try them on. So first impressions, yeah, that could well be okay, I think, actually. Doesn't feel like too much pressure. Feels like I've got quite good noise isolation before the even cancellation starts. They feel. I mean, I think the big test comes when I'm using them for an hour or more. So obviously I'll do that through the testing. So let's go ahead and, so if we turn that, so we see the lights flashing there. Fetch. So I don't think they have NFC like some devices. Yep, connected, battery 9%, active. So and as I take them off, I don't know if you saw it, paused it automatically. So the spinny dial bit does the volume. Let's just check. And it started playing again as I put them back on. Skip forward, skip back, and again pauses as I take them off. So they sound pretty good. It'll be interesting. I'll try and do sort of a more direct comparison to the Sonys or the Sennheisers or the Bose even. Let's just try the active noise cancellation. So we just need to pause the music for a second. Yeah, that seems pretty good. Open mic on, so this is where I can hear my own voice quite loudly through the microphones in the headphones, pick up the external noises, and then pass them through slightly amplified into the speakers. That's with the switch up. Switch in the middle turns that off. Down to the bottom, noise cancelling on. And it's interesting, I can still hear my computer. There's definitely a difference. So with the noise cancelling off, there is more ambient noise, and I can hear the fan. And it is definitely all the sort of ambient noise kind of goes, and there's nice silence. There's not really any white noise. With some of these noise cancelling headphones, you get kind of a white noise like when it's doing that. That's not there, that's good. But I can still hear that fan going. Obviously I'm going to do better testing. I've got my air conditioner sat just here that I can crank on. I normally do like a washing machine test and stand next to that with them on and see how much noise it cuts out. But and I'll check to see obviously if there's an app what you can do with that. And various other bits and pieces. If we just talk, I've kind of gone this far, not really mentioned some of the features it says on the website. So I've already mentioned the active noise cancellation, rich immersive audio, escape with Plantronics signature audio for crisp high notes and rich deep bass. And it did sound pretty good. Again, I'll do more testing with that. Interesting, it says class 1 Bluetooth range up to 100 meters. That seems a little hopeful for Bluetooth, but I mean, I'll test it as far as walking around the flat and things like that. And it says 24-hour battery power. You're free to listen or talk on too, so it's 24 hours on a single charge. Now, I don't know if that's with active noise cancellation on, because that normally hammers the battery a bit harder. But as I say, I'll be doing some testing as far as that, and we'll see how that goes. So via the magic of editing, any second I'll be here to give you the actual review part. So I'm back. I've been using them for 3 or 4 days now, and so much of what I said kind of still stands. I do like the build quality of them. They feel like nice and solid. They're not sort of loose in any way. If I give them the old shake test, I don't think, that doesn't extend it out a little bit. But on the whole, they just feel very well made. I do like the build quality. The ear cups are nice and soft. They feel very nice. So the comfort level actually is good. I had no problem wearing them for more than an hour watching TV, playing computer games. Yeah, comfort, no issues at all. The only problem, I suppose, with the design that they don't fold up. So that's as good as you get in. Obviously, a lot of other ones will fold insidewards to allow them to take up a lot less space in your bag. Not the case with these, but that's not necessarily a big issue. There is obviously the carry bag that came with it that you can pop them into. Again, that doesn't protect them all that much, apart from kind of scuffs and things. But it all feels very good quality. Aside, perhaps, the kind of the button controls on the, so that kind of wobbles around a bit. These ones, again, they feel a little, especially the volume control. When you're used to now, or when I'm used to now, the touch controls on my Sonys, that does feel a little cheap, if I'm honest. But small issue, I think, in the grand scheme of things. So onto the noise cancellation. Yeah, it's not very good, basically. So, for example, I have my aircon that I mentioned earlier. That makes, I'll turn it on quickly. It's quite noisy, and it's right next to me. It's within sort of 50 centimeters of my ears. The noise cancellation on the Plantronics, it cuts out the sort of lower, bassier element of it. So instead of it didn't really probably kick in when the actual chiller unit kicks in. You hear the brrrr, and then the fan. I think you can probably only hear the fan. And the noise cancellation kind of removes the chiller element bit, the brrrr, but you can still hear the brrrr over the top of it. And like I said earlier, I can hear my computer. If I put these on and turn the noise cancellation, I can still hear the computer fans going. And definitely with my Sonys or the Bose, which are both, to me, the best noise cancellation you get, you wouldn't even know the computer was on. In fact, with those two, you don't even know the aircon's on when I'm on my bed watching TV. So it's not great. It's there and it does work to an extent. And as I mentioned before, there's no white noise, which I do like. It is a silence until there is something quite noisy, and then that's going to break through. So yeah, it's not great, unfortunately. But there's, again, I don't think I particularly suffer from it, but I have noticed sometimes on some noise cancelling phones, it feels like a bit of pressure inside. There's none of that, and I've mentioned before, there's no white noise. So yeah, that's noise cancellation, I suppose. Software and features. Now I'll start actually with the app that you can see here. Now again, basically there's not a lot to the app. Find My Headset, you can make it if we turn it up, do you hear that? Put it a bit nearer there. Now, and also you get a backtrack where it basically shows you a map location. So I think that's just the last location of your phone when it was connected to the headphones. Obviously there's no GPS in the headphones themselves. Might be useful, maybe not. We've got the How Do I element, which is kind of basically the instructions telling you how to do various different things. I quite like that. That's useful. And we've got sort of the buttons and lights giving you an overview of what everything is. But that's pretty much it. There's not really anything else in the app. It gives you this sort of connected talk time, which is showing still as 16 more hours if the camera would focus. But yeah, that's pretty much the app in a nutshell. The Smart Pause, a little bit weird. I think it was responsible for disconnecting me from my Bluetooth transmitter while I plug into my computer. So I'm here playing games. I say to the guys, I'm just nipping in to get a drink, and I take the headphones off, and I come back and I put them back on, and I'm jabbering away and realise that I can't actually hear anything. I realised quite quickly I'm not an idiot. I wasn't sat there thinking, it's very quiet, this game. But I had to kind of just turn off the transmitter and back on again, and it connected up fairly quickly. But that seemed to happen a couple of different times. Another time where I didn't take them off, but I went through into the kitchen and I came back and I was disconnected. I'm not sure what that's about. Whereas I know the range is fine because I've connected to my phone and I've had the phone play music in the headphones, and I've been able to wander around the flat, no problems, not even a little sort of glitch. It was all played perfectly. So I'm not quite sure what's caused the few different disconnects that I've had. A little bit odd. As we've seen in the app, there's no graphic equalizer. Not a big thing for me, but some people might find that quite an important omission. To the actual performance, I think they sound great. I mean, you are going to put, you're paying like 180 pounds for a pair of headphones. You want them to sound great, and they do. I mean, the bass was fantastic, almost shaking my head a little bit. And the range to me. Now, I'm no audiophile, so other people might be able to be more specific about things. I'm just going to say they sounded great. It sounded like there was a good range of the sort of the high notes, the bass. You know, I think sound-wise, I don't think there's much between, if anything, between these, the Sonys, the Sennheisers, the Bose. They sound great. So that's kind of, you know, that's good to know. I've mentioned the Bluetooth range. There was no audio latency, so I think it said on the box that it's got aptX and codecs. So I've been playing computer games, I've been playing PUBG and Overwatch, and it's all synced up. That you don't notice any kind of bang type thing that I've got with the Bose. So that's great. And the battery life, it says there's 16 hours left. I've been using them quite a lot over the last few days. So I have no reason to believe that wouldn't be 24 hours wouldn't be correct. The battery life seems very good. So overall, are they worth the money? Yeah, they are. But I think the comments that I think even says on the website, these are just as good as headphones worth twice the price. I mean, they could be, but not the Sonys or the Bose. Would, for me, definitely not the Sonys. The sound quality is great, the build quality is great, the noise cancellation it's just not in the same league. It really isn't. If you hear one of them compared to these Plantronics, it's just not in the same league. So that's what you are paying the money for. If that's important to you, then spend the extra 150, 170 pounds to get something like the Sonys or the Bose. If that's not as important and it's just nice to have a little bit of noise cancellation in the headphone, then actually these Plantronics I think are a really good buy. I would love to see if they do a version 3, just change up the controls perhaps. There must be a better way of doing that. But otherwise, actually a really good pair of headphones. So I'd love to hear what you think in the comments down below. If you own them, please let me know your thoughts. And if you think I'm an idiot for saying things about the noise cancellation and such, but that's how I see it. But yeah, please do let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. For now, my name's Andy. I'll catch you all again soon.